All right, shalom, shalom. This is Brother Mayum coming at you from JMS Tampa Bay. First and foremost, I want to give all the praise and all the glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachah Kodash. Double honors to the elders, apostles, great millstone, and much blessing and salutations to the Akim around the four corners of the earth who are diligently pushing out this truth and this truth and sincerity. And I just want to do a quick video, just touching on the subject of the mark of the beast, and us quickly approaching this time period, and don't be fooled by everything else that's happening in the world. These devils surely are moving towards implementing this RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast, and they're doing little things here and there, which that Save America Act is a part of that. It's a part of that bill, or it's a part of that agenda. All right, it's a part of bringing about a control measure over a digital control measure over the things of this earth. All right, and the brother sent this out, and brother sent out this little Instagram post, which I looked it up to verify that it was true, and sure enough, it is. All right, and this is it's about Walmart bringing out digital price tags, which we already know what that's heading for. All right, because with a digital price tag, you can tie those tags, those digital tags to the system, all right, to the internet, and these prices will change as time goes. All right, so as we move forward throughout time, and as prices change, especially with inflation and everything, these price tags can change automatically. All right, and it's going to lead to a more of a constant control over everything. All right, so this is just off of Google AI. It reads, Walmart is rolling out digital shelf labels, or DSLs, as it reads. It says across all U.S. stores by the end of 2026, replacing paper tags with digital displays that update prices instantly via Fusion Group technology. The system increases efficiency, reduces labor for price changes, and aids in inventory management, but has raised consumer concerns regarding potential dynamic pricing. And that's exactly what they're going to do. This is the whole idea behind smart meters, where they're able to, per fractions of a second, charge you micropayments, as they call it. Which, let's look that up real quick. Let's open up another tab here. What are micro payments? All right, micropayments are small online financial transactions, typically under $1, $5, or $10, used to pay for digital content, services, or in-game items. They are designed to overcome high transaction fees that make small purchases impractical, allowing for pay-per-use digital tips or unlocking specific articles, games, or apps. It says use cases. Common examples include paying to remove ads in app purchases, buying, assessing a single news article, or tipping creators on platforms like Buy Me a Coffee. It says because traditional credit card fees, e.g. 2.9% plus 30 cents, are too high for small amounts, specialized low-cost processing systems or pre-funded digital wallets are often used to make them viable. Micropayments can operate through prepaid systems, depositing funds first, direct pay as you go, or consolidated post-pay methods. It says examples include app stores, Apple Pay, Google Pay, streaming platforms, and digital content platforms. So these platforms are already out there, man. These are things that people already use. Okay? And these things are now going to be transitioned over to a new form of doing business, where you're able to go into a store. You're able to go into a store and you're able to make very, very small payments towards something. Okay? And not only is it going to be used for payments, it's also going to be used for charging you. All right? Such as gas bills. All right? Such as electricity. All right? Such as water usage. All right? Such as your emissions. These are all forms things that we use on a daily basis that we get charged at the end of a month. Well, now it'll be just automatically taken out of your account, your digital account, your digital wallet, and it's going to be taken out from your account daily per the second. Okay? And so when they talk about these new digital price tags, that's all this is leading towards, where they're able to update the price on things per the second. So at the beginning of the day, it could be one price, in the afternoon it could be another, and by the end of the day, it could be an even different price. Okay? So again, man, and when you read the scriptures, Revelation 13, 15, 16, 17, and 18, it talks about that this has the mark of the beast has to do with buying and selling. Okay? You're buying a service and you're selling a product. All right, and everything that we do here, especially in America, is buying and selling. This is a consumer nation. All right, we're here in America. We consume. All right, it's these corporations that produce, and even you have bigger entities like Duke Energy and TECO here in Florida. We're here in the Tampa Bay region. You have TECO, which is an electric company. You know, where they produce or give you or activate electricity to your home, and they bill you. Okay, and they're going to utilize these systems as well, man. Everything is going to utilize these systems. This is not just something that, and matter of fact, let's type this in, DSLs. Let's type this into the chat. Let's just type this in. Oops, it's a lot there. Let's just hold this damn bag. A little bit of windy. Let me type in this question. All right, so the question I asked Chad says, aside from Walmart, and this is just, a quick, off the top of my head question that I could ask. I said, aside from Walmart using DSLs, which the DSL stands for digital shelf labels, all right, will other companies utilize this same technology and incorporate the same concepts into their company, such as micropayments for electricity? And let's just see what Chad says. I know it's a little bit of a random, kind of the way I worded it is a little off, but just for the sake of time, let's just see what the chat says. And look, he still hasn't even given me an answer. It says, all right, so see, it says, yes, other companies absolutely can and very likely will use the same underlying concepts, but it helps to separate the two ideas you mentioned because they are actually different technologies. Walmart's DSLs equals digital shelf labels, and micropayments for electricity, usually distributed ledger, blockchain-based payment systems. And see, and the digital shelf labels is not different. They're not separate technologies. These are going to be well, they are separate technologies, but their usage is going to be incorporated together. Okay, so it says they may overlap conceptually. There you go, automation plus real-time pricing, but they are not the same thing. Okay, and that's not what I was getting at. But it says digital shelf labels will definitely spread. Walmart is already expanding digital shelf labels to thousands of stores by 2026. This technology is highly attractive because it allows companies to update prices instantly, sync shelf prices with online prices, reduce labor costs, manage promotions in real time, improve inventory tracking. Because of that, many retailers are expected to follow. Companies that either already use or are likely to expand similar systems include Target, Kroger, Amazon, Costco Wholesale, CVS, Walgreens. It says retail as a whole is moving towards fully digitized pricing systems. It says micropayments for electricity. This is also likely, but in utilities and smart grids, which again, this, they came out with these smart meters for homes. And again, this is going to be tied to, and look, it even mentions it. It says this part is even more interesting. The idea of paying for electricity in tiny real-time increments, for example, paying by the minute, second, or kilowatt consumed is already being explored. This is especially relevant for electric vehicle charging, which, they're going towards electric vehicles. All right, I think what's Agenda 2030, that by 2030 all cars will be electric cars. I'm assuming that they mean that all cars being produced are going to be electric and no longer being produced gasoline. It says solar power sharing, smart homes, peer-to-peer energy grids, and machine-to-machine payments. For example, some energy companies are already using distributed ledger technology for energy trading and automated settlement. Imagine this future model. Your home solar panels produce extra power. Your neighbor buys that power automatically. Payment happens instantly in fractions of a cent. No monthly bill cycle is needed, right? You're not going to need a monthly bill at the end of the day because you're being charged per the second. Okay? You're not even going to have to think about making payments because it's automatically going to be getting deducted out of your account. And that's why they're going to be giving UBIs, because you're only going to have a set amount that you're going to be able to spend. And once you reach that limit, once you're done with your credits, you can't do anything else. And this is how they're going to maintain control over all society. And this is the mark of the beast speaking loud and clear, man. Okay? It says, could retail and electricity concepts merge? Yes. And this is where your thinking is very forward-looking. The same real-time dynamic pricing logic used in digital shelf labels could absolutely be applied to utilities. For example, electricity costs more during peak demand. Exactly, man. See? And right now, what? You just get charged per the usage during that peak hour. All right? During that peak hour, you got some smart meters. I know a year or two ago when I lived in these apartments, it had a smart meter for my thermometer. And the thermometer automatically recognized peak hours, and it would automatically raise my temperature in the apartment to closer to 80 degrees during these times, so I would use less power. And it was doing this automatically without my knowledge. Okay, so anytime I would go onto the app, or I would go onto the actual thermometer, I would notice that the temperature went up, and it would have like a yellow leaf logo letting me know that it was in that mode where it would raise the temperature due to peak hours. Okay, so it says, for example, electricity costs more during peak demand, less at night. EV chargers adjust price in real time. Appliances could automatically buy power when it is cheapest. You see, so your smart oven, your smart refrigerator, all right, your smart microwave, all these things are going to be utilizing this technology to charge you per use. And again, it's going to be as the day goes on, the pricing, the price is going to change. Okay, so the concept of live pricing plus automated microtransactions can absolutely move across industries. Retail is just one early example. Utilities, transportation, toll roads, internet bandwidth, and even internet bandwidth, man. That's crazy. Your internet that you pay now a monthly service for, right? You may pay, $80, $60, depending on the speed of your internet. But imagine that as you use your internet, which everything is connected to your internet, right? Your smart meters, your telephone, your TVs, some washing machines, everything damn near today is connected to the internet. So imagine that you're getting charged constantly. People are gonna start turning shit off, man. Your lights are gonna go out. Your TV ain't gonna go on no more because you ain't got no more money to spend on watching TV. See, this is a very scary world that we're getting ready to go into, man, that the Lord has to deliver us from, man. Just imagine that. You can't do this or that because you ain't got no more money. Because your shit is you're getting charged per the second, man. And shit is connected to the internet when you ain't even using it, man. It can be even turned off and it's still connected to the internet. Ain't that something? So it says, I think you may be seeing something bigger here, a future where everything becomes usage-based and priced in real time. This is a very realistic direction technology is moving in. It says, would you like me to explain what this could mean for consumers and whether it could lead to surge-style pricing for essentials like electricities and groceries? And of course, they're going to get to forms to where they're going to, it may be a big problem. People are going to rebel with surge pricing, being done automatically. It just constantly goes up and down, and sometimes it spikes like crazy. People are going to be so fed up that it's going to lead to the revolt. People are going to rebel against this new system. But again, this is something else that the scriptures talk about in 2 Ezra chapter 15. All right, the sedition amongst men and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor their princes. Okay? So the time is coming to where these things are going to be instituted in a worldwide, sense, and you people are going to be lost in the sauce, and it's going to be too late by the time you realize these things. You're already going to be involved. You're already going to be surrounded with this technology, and there's nothing that you're going to be able to do to it, man. And there ain't nothing that we're going to be able to do either, because as far as the elect goes, we're still in this world as well, but we know that we're going to put our trust into the Heavenly Father when this time comes, and we're not going to trust in this world. See, that's the thing, is that a lot of you Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, have put your trust into the system. So when the time comes for this green light to be given for this the mark of the beast to come out, you're not going to be able to say no. Because your whole life is tied to the system, because you've trusted in it. You have trusted in it your entire life, man. All right. So hey, man, this is what's coming around the corner, and we're nigh at that door, man. Again, these technologies have already been created. All right, the policies have been changed. It's just a matter of turning on a switch and things getting on on track. All right. So, hey, man, we're almost out of here. The Lord is getting ready to disappoint these devils, because in the midst of him instituting these things globally, the Lord is going to disappoint him before this thing goes on for too long, man. But we will see these things come to fruition. That's a fact. These things will come to fruition. Okay, they will happen. We're going to see micropayments. Okay. We're going to see these digital price tags. We're going to see these digital price changes instantly. We're going to live in that world. It's going to be for a little bit, but we're going to see these things happen, man. And we know that the Lord, for those of us that believe on Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, we know the Lord's going to deliver us out of this and find us a way out from the midst of these troubles, man. Because that's what Yahushua prayed for the elect, to keep us from these evils. Okay? So, hey, Lord's will is edifying. I want to give all the praise and glory unto Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahushai, B'Hashem Rachah HaKodash. Double honors to the elders, apostles of Great Millstone, and much blessing and salutations to the Akim around the four corners of the earth who are diligently pushing out this truth and this truth in sincerity.